Hello, my name is Nicole Davis and my pronouns are she, her, and I am the Regional Council Manager for Birth to 5 Illinois, Region 44, covering McHenry County. Thank you for watching Region 44 Early Childhood Regional Needs Assessment Virtual Report. This recorded session will provide an overview of findings from the Birth to 5 Illinois Region 44 Needs Assessment, as well as talk about the strengths, needs, and recommendations for improving access to and enrollment in early childhood education and care programs in the region. A link to the full report can be found in the description below. If you would like to turn on closed captioning, click the CC icon at the bottom of the video. This will turn on captions. If you want a language different than English, click on the gear icon for settings, click on subtitles, then auto translate, and you can scroll down to pick the language you want. In 2021, the Illinois Commission on Equitable Early Childhood Education and Care Funding issued a report with findings that highlighted the inequities in early childhood funding in Illinois and the need to create a better statewide infrastructure to support early childhood professionals, expand services and programs for family and caregivers, and increase enrollment in early childhood education and care programs. The report focused on the importance of addressing racial inequities and the need to include local voices in the conversation that funders and decision makers were having about early childhood education and care. To provide a structure for communities, families, and caregivers to engage with the data and share their experiences, a new statewide infrastructure was created across 39 regions, all of which align with existing Illinois State Board of Educational regional offices of education boundaries, but operate independently. Birth to 5 Illinois regional boundaries align with school districts instead of strictly following county lines, which can be a challenge for gathering and interpreting data because many early childhood services are provided by or tied to school districts. Region 44 is located in the northwest part of the state bordering Wisconsin and includes McHenry County. It is built on the traditional homelands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miami, Oceti, Sakanawan, Ho-Chunk, and Kickapoo territories. It is a mix of suburban and rural area and is the sixth most populous area in Illinois. Joining me in the Region 44 office is Christine Cozy, our Family and Community Engagement Specialist, and our Administrative Support, Carrie Ruddy.
The experiences and knowledge families, caregivers, and early childhood professionals gain while navigating the complexities of the state's early childhood education and care system are valuable, and understanding their lived experience in the local context is vital for decision makers to ensure communities have access to the programs, services, and supports they need. To this end, Birth to 5 Illinois was created to harness family and caregiver voices in early childhood education and care, and serve as a bridge between the communities and policymakers so family, caregiver, and professional experiences can guide the decisions made to expand or enhance services across the state. Our mission is to create a statewide regional infrastructure that will amplify input from communities in the development of policies and funding priorities. We support the mobilization of communities to build and sustain equitable access to inclusive, high-quality, and early childhood services for all children and families in the state of Illinois.
We envision that our work will help all stakeholders reimagine a more equitable early childhood education and care system that respects family and community voice and works to ensure it is centered and prioritized at every level of decision-making in Illinois.
We have three main values and goals. First, we must prioritize family voice. Through this transformation, centered on authentic family and community engagement, we will address the inequitable distribution of resources and services and rebuild our state's early childhood education and care system.
Second, we must address the racial inequities that exist in our early childhood system. In an effort to move our early childhood education and care system to one where racism no longer impacts a child's success, we will work to dismantle barriers that have limited access to high-quality services for minoritized children in every corner of our state.
Third, we will use the collective impact model to shift the current early childhood system to influence policy and funding at the local, regional, and state level. Birth to 5 Illinois will use community-driven feedback to build a system that harnesses knowledge directly from families and providers and encourages decision makers to ensure new and/or expanded services are created to meet the community needs.
Two critical parts of the new statewide infrastructure are family councils and action councils. Located in each of the 39 regions, the councils provide feedback on quantitative data from the Illinois Early Childhood Asset Map, or ICAM, and the Illinois Network of Child Care Resource and Referral Agencies, or INCRA, to help contextualize the data at the local level. The councils meet twice a month in virtual, in-person, or hybrid meetings. The family councils are comprised of parents, caregivers from a wide variety of family types: single parents, adoptive and foster parents, caregivers of relatives, teen parents, two-parent families, multi-generational families, and more, and prioritize the voices of those who have not been involved in this type of work before. We want to highlight those who have been involved in our Region 44 Family Council over the past year and thank them for sharing their experiences with the early childhood system. Alan Diaz, Brittany Henricks, Jamie Huron, Shannon Lamp, Ann Lindstrom, and Talia Ruiz Garcia.
Action councils are comprised of early childhood education and care professionals, healthcare providers, faith leaders, elected officials, and other community members. Each action council reserved 2 seats for parent and caregivers to ensure family voices were included in every decision. Action council members were invited to bring additional aggregated data on programs and services provided by their agency or organization to complement data from ICAM and INCRA. We extend thanks and gratitude to our Region 44 Action Council members: Susan Beckman, Donna Emons, Kim Lambs, Jennifer Nowicki, Jamie Potash, and Elise Sarika.
Beyond the council meetings, additional qualitative data was collected community-wide through focus groups and interviews, and all council members were invited to provide input on each section of their early childhood regional needs assessment. Council members developed the strengths, needs, and recommended next steps that are unique to each region. Regional teams, along with the support of their action and family council members, created a dissemination plan and are holding community meetings virtually and in person to share their report's findings. The following slides highlight some data that was discussed by council members and provide insights into the early childhood education and care landscape in our region.
Region 44 is primarily white, but has a 20% population of Hispanic Latino families, along with other races that range from 1 to 6% that identify as 2 or more races, Black, or Asian. According to the 2020 census, there are 103,317 households in the region, with the majority speaking English. 1,294 speak primarily Spanish, and 732 primarily speak another language. Part of the conversation with council members were around priority populations, defined by the Illinois Early Learning Council as groups that have been historically underserved by early childhood education and care programs. In Region 44, the priority populations include children of teen parents, children experiencing homelessness, children of families in poverty, children with disabilities, and families that face barriers because of their culture or language. While data on children and families from priority populations is limited, there are a few things to note about Region 44. According to the 2020 census, about 2.5% of births were born to teens. There were 18 families with a kindergartner that were experiencing homelessness. There were 1,585 children ages birth to 5 that were at or below the 100% poverty line, and 3,776 at or below the 200% poverty line. There were 1,436 children with an IEP, and 1,039 of those children aged 3 to 5, 397 of those children aged 5 and in kindergarten, and there were 542 kindergartners identified as speaking limited English. According to Action Council members and those that work in the community, these numbers are actually higher than the 2020 census is stating, as the census only includes information from those who fill it out. Additional information about priority populations was gathered through surveys, interviews, and focus groups, and is included throughout our final Early Childhood Regional Needs Assessment report. Community collaborations are an integral part of the early childhood landscape. Local early childhood community collaborations bring together community agencies, organizations, and individuals with a shared vision or goal. They understand the importance of improving early childhood education and care for children, caregivers, and providers. Region 44 currently has no official collaborations, but the Action Council and other agencies in the region have unanimously agreed that one is needed. Region 44 is home to a variety of early childhood education and care programs and providers, all servicing children based on the licensing, funding, and staffing requirements. But access to early childhood programs and services is not equitable for all the region's families. There are an estimated 11,773 children ages birth to 5 in the region who do not have access to a licensed child care center, family child care, or license exempt child care center, because we do not have enough programs or enough child care professionals working in the field. There are towns within our region that have very limited or no child care options. Another issue is that we do not have the workforce to fully open the centers that we do have. As one child care administrator said, our center is licensed for 146 children. Right now we have 93 enrolled, not because we don't have the space, but because we don't have the staff. We have 76 children on our wait list, and we could take 53 of them if we had the right amount of staffing. Some parents have stated they had to turn down jobs because they cannot find childcare. There are publicly funded preschool options also available in the region, such as Head Start and Preschool for All. However, none of these programs are full day or for children under age 3, nor do they all provide transportation to and from the program. This leaves families with the burden of choosing to enroll their child in a program that they need and qualify for, or turn it down due to the logistics of needing a full day program or transportation. There are also an estimated 712 children that qualify for these publicly funded programs and cannot receive the services because there are not enough open slots available for all the children that do qualify. Region 44 has many dedicated, passionate professionals that work in early childhood education and care. However, there is a huge deficit in this workforce. According to the Action Council members, child care workers in the community, and surveys we received, early childhood education workers are leaving due to low wages, burnout, lack of specialized training, aging of the workforce, and for public school jobs. Within the early childhood education and care field, these professionals feel there is a lack of respect. They say this is because the community does not see them as professionals and do not know the educational and legal requirements needed for the job. It was stated by one worker that the problem is that public schools are mandatory and everyone knows they have certified teachers. But people, parents included, often view childcare as a service only needed for parents who need to work. There's no emphasis on the learning. Speaking for all the professionals that work in childcare, they would like the public to know that they are not babysitters but educators. Other services within early childhood education and care include prevention initiative programs such as early intervention and home visiting programs. These professionals work through intense situations with families on a day-to-day basis with a staff shortage. They are saying this causes burnout and that even those that love their career will then choose to leave.
Families and caregivers also agree that there is a lack of childcare access, especially in certain areas. Families spoke up about not having any options if you work an unconventional work schedule, which may include evenings, weekends, or a rotating schedule. Childcare costs are another thing weighing on families' minds. There is financial assistance available if you qualify based on your income and the family size through the Illinois Department of Human Services, called the Child Care Assistance Program, or CCAP. In Region 44, the Child Care Resource and Referral Agency also currently has a grant to offer scholarships to help cover the costs of childcare temporarily for families that just missed the cutoff to receive CCAP or to further support families facing unique situations such as homelessness. Parents, caregivers, and agencies are all saying that although there are services in our region for children who may need extra services, families often don't know about them or even how to find out if their child would qualify for them.
Community and council members identified many strengths within the region, as well as needs. It has been said numerous times that the professionals within the early childhood education and care workforce are truly dedicated and want what is best for the children. A need for that early childhood education and care workforce brought up numerous times was that the necessity to educate the community in general about the field in hopes that once the public learns about the requirements needed to work in the field, what the job entails, and how essential early childhood education and care truly is, the respect as well as adequate pay and benefits will come along with it. This, along with the support for the early childhood education and care professionals regarding challenges they encounter on almost a daily basis, will help build the workforce, which is also a top priority need. Agencies that serve children ages birth to 5 years have spoken about the ways they work together to get to know each other's services so they can give families they are working with accurate referrals when they see a need within a family they do not provide a service for within their own agency. As families have stated that they would like some sort of central hub to be able to learn the early childhood education and care services within the region. We also know that it's a huge benefit to the early childhood education and care college students to be able to receive scholarships and grants to start or continue their education in early childhood. Our region is lucky to have a community college that not only provides the classes and degree needed to work in the field, but also the scholarship for schooling. The local Child Care Resource and Referral Agency also provides scholarships and grants for the early childhood education and care professionals to keep up to date with their professional development hours for little to no cost. The financial support for education and training and the emotional support within support groups that are in the region all help to grow and sustain the early childhood education and care workforce. But again, a top need that the early childhood education and care workers are saying they need is a living wage with benefits. There are more strengths and need listed in the regional needs assessment. Based on community and council conversations, recommendations have been made on how early childhood education and care program and services can be improved for families in the region. Recommendations will be presented to lawmakers, state agencies, local elected officials, and funders so they can better understand the needs of families in the region and share the recommendations with them so they can see how to best meet those needs. Top recommendations for our region that were brought forward were provide ongoing education on the importance of early childhood education and care programs. Create a hub to connect families to their specific early childhood education and care needs in the region, and encourage early childhood education and care workforce development with a direct pipeline to become a qualified teacher or director, along with incentives to continue education and more regulations on salary and benefits. There are more recommendations listed in the regional needs assessment.
This summer, we will be out in the community talking to more families, providers, and stakeholders about their experiences with early childhood education and care, and we want to talk with you. We invite community members, families, and early childhood professionals to join the conversation by filling out a council interest form. Please go to www.birth-to-5il.com/councils or click the link in the description to get involved. Interest forms will close later this summer, with council meetings fully resuming in September.
Birth to 5 Illinois is proud to be a department of INCRA and is grateful for funding from the Illinois State Board of Education and the Illinois Department of Human Services.
I want to thank our state partners for their support and you for watching. We encourage you to stay in touch with us by visiting our regional page at www.birth-to-5il.com/region44, joining our Facebook group, or reaching out to me via email at ndavis@birth-to-5il.com. Links to our pages, along with my email address, are available in the description below. Thank you for your time. We look forward to connecting with you soon.